Warning: today's episode of Whatever Happened to Pizza at McDonald's contains adult content related to the marijuana plant. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to Whatever Happened to Pizza at McDonald's, the investigative journalism program where I ask the question, whatever happened to the pizza at McDonald's? I'm your host, Brian Thompson. Over the past few weeks, I have been inundated with reports about a so-called adult Happy Meal available on the McDonald's menu throughout the month of October. Until now, I have been ignoring these reports for a few key reasons. Reason number one, these so-called adult Happy Meals have nothing to do with McDonald's pizza. Reason number two, I am quite busy. And reason number three, these so-called adult Happy Meals are a promotional campaign in coordination with a streetwear brand called Cactus Plant Flea Market. Thus, my mentioning them would count as an advertisement and require my standard upfront endorsement quote of $13,000. But for reasons unknown to me, this so-called adult Happy Meal has become too popular to ignore. Perhaps in this troubled world, adults find comfort in purchasing fast food items traditionally meant only for children. Or perhaps widespread fluoridation of the water supply has caused a sort of brain damage, resulting in low-level infantilization. Whatever the case, I am afraid the economics of online broadcasting require that I address any McDonald's matter guaranteed to bring in a certain number of listeners, no matter what it has to do with pizza. But covering this cultural phenomenon has required quite a bit of research. Before this week, I was ignorant of what streetwear even is. But now, I understand that there are certain boutique brands who manufacture clothing items such as sweatshirts, sneakers, and fanny packs, known in the United Kingdom as bum bum bags, featuring exclusive designs. These items are typically produced only in very limited quantities, in the hopes that their scarcity will prey upon a customer's fear of missing out and inflate the item's perceived value. While I am somewhat of a metaphorical clothes horse, I typically do not wear clothing that prominently features any kind of brand or logo, unless, of course, I have received my aforementioned payment of $13,000. Occasionally, I am forced to bend this rule. For example, when Costco is selling their Kirkland-branded t-shirts at the irresistible bargain price of $12 per gross. But in those instances, I simply scratch out the logo with a magic marker. The same magic marker I use to label the label of all of my clothes with my name, contact information, and journalist's credentials. In short, I guess you could say my aversion to streetwear means that I am definitely not a hype beast. But while Happy Meals are not clothing, save for the occasional emergency instance where someone might need to wear the box as a hat to protect their perm from the rain, the Cactus Plant Flea Market branded so-called adult Happy Meal has been designed to mimic the business model of limited-run streetwear by restricting supply. When it comes to regular Happy Meals made for children, McDonald's typically manufactures the accompanying toys in the tens of millions, as it is in their best interest to ensure that no one who orders one is turned away. This has been the policy since at least 1990, aka the heyday of McDonald's pizza. The film Dick Tracy had just been released, and the promotional Dick Tracy Happy Meal toys offered at McDonald's were driving a great deal of business. In those days, there was nothing a child loved more than a 75-year-old newspaper strip about a middle-aged man arresting the disfigured. But McDonald's did not anticipate the great demand for PVC figurines of classic Dick Tracy characters, such as Breathless Mahoney, Big Boy Caprice, Spud Spaldoni, Lips Manless, Flat Top, Prune Face, Mumbles, Steve the Tramp, Sam Catchem, Itchy, Texie Garcia, Littleface, D.A. Fletcher, Pat Patton, 88 Keys, Bug Bailey, The Brow, Chief Brandon, Tess Trueheart, Ribs Maka, and, of course, the titular Dick himself, Mr. Dick Tracy. So many disappointed children were refused Dick Tracy Happy Meal toys due to low supply that they boycotted the film, causing it to become one of the year's biggest box office failures. Instead, they directed their entertainment dollars toward the movie Ghost Dad, which featured a promotional tie-in with Jack in the Box restaurants, where every 150th child to order a kids combo got to become a ghost after passing away of salmonella infection. These days, McDonald's wants to ensure nothing like this will ever happen again, so they make their Happy Meal toys in much greater numbers than they will actually sell. The surplus is disposed of via a combination of charitable donations, incineration, and burial at sea. But this is not the case with the cactus plant flea market toys created for the so-called adult Happy Meal. These were only produced in limited numbers, and they sold out quite quickly. Now they are commanding a hefty price on the aftermarket. According to reports, some of the rarest figurines have commanded as much as $300,000 on the Electronic Bay auction market. The question is why? Scarcity cannot be the only reason. Traditional streetwear is appealing to hypebeasts for its exclusivity, but it also serves a function. If I spend $75,000 on a pair of sneakers with the word Supreme written on them, I can still wear them just like I would any other pair of shoes. They would function in almost the exact same way, protecting my bare feet from hot pavement and keeping them dry while walking through puddles of rain, urine, or ejaculate. In fact, the only thing streetwear sneakers would not protect me from that conventional sneakers would is a shoe thief's violent attack. Conversely, the toys offered in the so-called adult Happy Meal seem to serve no function at all. They are plastic figurines resembling well-known McDonald's characters, such as the Grimace, Birdie, and the Hamburglar, plus a yellow humanoid called Cactus Buddy. Distressingly, they feature a distorted appearance that is much more bizarre than their normal shape. They seem almost as if they are in the process of melting, and instead of the standard one pair of eyes, these figurines have two pairs of eyes, as if they were creatures from outside the realm of time and space, in the dark realm where madness is born. It was not until I browsed other offerings from the Cactus Plant Flea Market Streetwear Company that I came to realize the intended use of these toys. In addition to featuring similarly disfigured characters, several pieces of Cactus Plant Flea Market clothes also include images of marijuana leaves. Marijuana is a plant that contains a certain chemical that, when consumed, creates an altered state of consciousness in the consumer. I myself have never consumed it. As a journalist, I feel it is wise to always remain in full control of my faculties, lest I be ambushed by an assassin or deceived by an informant who assumes I am too metaphorically high to notice when someone is being less than candid with me. Plus, for many years, possession and distribution of marijuana was illegal. This has not been the case where I live in the state of California for some time, as voters long ago decided outlawing marijuana figuratively killed the literal vibe. But as a noted law-abider, I am somewhat hesitant to try anything that has ever been deemed unacceptable by the government, up to and including leaving too much food behind at an all-you-can-eat buffet. But marijuana, whether consumed via cigarette, vape pen, edible foodstuff, or simply walking too close to Seth Rogen, offers a certain utility about which I have always been somewhat curious. According to marijuana aficionados, the effects of the drug alter a person's perception in such a way that they can often find beauty or meaning in the otherwise intolerable. There are many unpleasant-sounding experiences which are said to be made almost pleasant by the consumption of marijuana. These include sitting through laser light shows and co-hosting a live New Year's Eve broadcast with Anderson Cooper. Perhaps, I thought, consuming marijuana might alter my own perception, such that I can finally understand the appeal of these disgusting, malformed, and frankly offensive cactus plant flea market toys. One problem: I do not own any marijuana. Thankfully, many local Los Angeles businesses are devoted to helping customers with this very problem.
What is she with? So I can help you?
Hello, my name is Brian Thompson. I am fairly new to marijuana. I was calling for some advice on which strain I should buy.
Yeah, wait one. For sure. Well, what did you want to smoke for?
Well, I'm looking to alter my perception. Specifically, I would like to be able to look at sort of a hideous figurine and find it appealing. So something that would sort of change my tastes and my mood to accommodate, experiencing unpleasant experiences, something like that.
Right. Okay. Interesting. I'd recommend like a strong sativa.
A
Like
strong
what I really like is
sativa?
yeah. Like what I really like is it's a strain called Tropicana by CDX.
Now, Tropicana, does that mean it's made from palm trees or something like that?
No, it's just the name of the strain. That's just what they call it. They all have like goofy names, like cereal milk or something.
Oh, sure.
That one's just called Tropicana. And the company that makes it is CBX. I like that. I think it's pretty good.
So C is in CBX, B is in BX, and an X on the end. Tropicana. Okay, that sounds good to me, I guess.
But to be honest, and I'm thinking your perception like that drastically. I want something other than cannabis.
Well, like what?
I don't know, I mean, probably something that's not legal, to be honest.
Oh, something illegal.
Because I mean, that was like the strongest sativa that I ever smoked. I don't think it necessarily changed my. Like it changes your perspective, I guess, mentally, but it's not like much of a. It's not like a psychedelic or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's.
Well, I'm not necessarily looking for something to unlock my psychic powers. I was just thinking something that would, make an unpleasant experience more pleasant, like, for instance, listening to a jam band or something like that.
Oh, right. Yeah, try the Tropicana.
Tropicana. Okay.
I think it'll make it more pleasant, more fun.
Okay, well, I will be in shortly to purchase that. Thank you very much.
Let me see if we actually have it in stock, just to make sure.
Oh, okay.
We do. Just that particular strain. Actually, I don't see it in stock. Let me take a look at. Yeah, I don't think we actually do have that particular strain in stock right now. Okay. Another one I think it's much less intense personally, but it's still, I think it would still have a similar effect. It's going to be Fruity Berries by Rainbow, and I know we have that one in stock.
Fruity Berries by Rainbow.
Yeah, and these are like my personal experiences. It might be a little different than yours. It's kind of hard to say. But for something like that, you'd want a sativa.
Okay. Well, I will scratch out Tropicana on my shopping list, and I will write in Fruity Berries. I will be in very shortly to purchase some of that natural medicine.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
No problem.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I am now sitting comfortably in my home office with my new marijuana cigarette. To ensure that I do not fall victim to any violence while in an altered state of consciousness, I have electrified the knob of my front door by wrapping it with a wet extension cord. Now, I shall pull up an image of the Cactus Plant Flea Market so-called adult Happy Meal toys on my personal computer and ponder them as I consume. That is odd. It almost never rains here.
Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Into this house we're born. Into this world we're thrown. Like a dog without a bone.
This is Ronald McDonald, and the KIDS Rainy Day Radio Special is on the air. Right now in McDonaldland, it's cloudy with a chance of rain. A drizzly, showery, soggy, drippy day.
Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Into this house we're born. Into this world we're thrown.
I would like to introduce that terrific tongue-topping talent, Mr. Tongue Twister.
Thank you very much there, Ronald. Mr. Tongue Twister here. And speaking of the weather, Ronald, try this on the tip of your tongue, okie dokie. We'll wet weather, wet whistles. You think you can do that there? Let's give it a try. We'll wet weather, wet whistles. Good, faster. We'll wet weather, wet whistles. 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 We'll wet weather, wet whistles.
Aloha! What are people saying about McDonald's new ham and pineapple pizza? Let's find out!
I had a couple of them pizzas, those ham and pineapple pizzas.
What do you think of it?
Fantastic.
It's really good. It's really crispy and it's tasty.
Well, the pineapple is like sweet with mixed in with the ham, and the cheese makes it really tasty. It goes nice with the crust.
I like it a lot. It's very good. I'm actually surprised.
Lots of ham and lots of pineapple.
It's raining cats and French puddles out here. That's funny. Knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock.
Who's there now?
Rain.
Rain who?
Rain here all the way from Texas just to tell you this knock-knock joke. Knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock.
Who's there now?
Knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock.
Who's there now?
Knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock.
To campaign 2016 tonight, and a milestone for Donald Trump. He now has enough delegates to clinch the Republican nomination for president. Trump celebrated the victory tonight with McDonald's. Our Louisa Muller's live in studio. Louisa?
Well, Paula, nothing like a Big Mac for someone who so enjoys winning, right?
Brian is screaming like a dog. They get on holiday and let your children play. If you give this man a ride, sweet sweet family will die. Killer on the road.
Here's one for your rainy day friends and mine from Ronald McDonald and KIDS Radio. 1 and a 2 and a...
There was a sailor, he sailed a ship. He had a story, and this is it.
Your call is coming in right in the midst of dozens of prank calls, sir. I apologize for answering this hotline the way I did, but we're just getting tired of these punk kids.
Of the ocean, of the ocean.
I'm unconvinced it's a serious call. We get calls like yours all the time, and they conclude with people chuckling at our gullibility. That's the problem, you see.
One had a patch on his eye. In the ocean, in the ocean, in the ocean, in the ocean.
Your call is coming in right in the midst of dozens of prank calls, sir. I apologize for your call is coming in right in the midst of dozens of prank calls, sir. We're just getting tired of these punk kids. Your call is coming in right in the midst of dozens of prank calls, sir. I apologize for answering the way I did, but we're just getting tired of these. We're just getting tired of these punk kids.
A really great song and a fine sound from the folks who make music in McDonaldland.
Well, I do not think this is working. The toys still look disgusting. Do you know what happened to pizza at McDonald's? Do you remember it? Please send all correspondence to pizza@mcdonalds@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at pizza@McDee's. And purchase my best-selling book, How to Be an Investigative Journalist, at howtobeaninvestigativejournalist.com. To support the show, please join my Patreon at patreon.com/pizza@McDee's for exclusive podcasts and other benefits. Thank you to my invaluable Patreon producers: Isabella Zelaskowski, Jacob Ford, Joe Kajik, Kimberly King, Kyle Tarak, Pam Gabriel, Will, Andrew Duffy, Andrew Ahmed Johnson Rubin, Billy Jean, Brad Allen Thompson, David Friedman, Felix Dooley, Jay Poop, Calvin Thomas, Kat Resney, Laurel Paul, Mel, Mitchell Kordick, Opus Mareshi, and Ryan Guggenmoss. I'm Brian Thompson, investigative journalist.